Hey, what is up you guys? Brandasauresrex here, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Monster Arts Mechagodzilla, or Kiryu Type 3 Heavy Arms. This character, or this figure, has the longest name in figure history. So with that being said, let's take a look at the box. So here we have the first box, and you can see it says Mechagodzilla Type 3 Kiryu Heavy Armed Version. It's just the longest name. It's just so long. I don't know why it is. Why they couldn't just put Mechagodzilla and then Heavy Armed, or Kiryu Type 3 Heavy Armed? No, we had to put all of. Okay, whatever. So here's the box, and it has. So this is the shipping box. So there you go. That's what it looks like. There's nothing on the other sides. It's just brown, and then the back looks like that. So we can get this out of the way and bring in the other box. Here is the box that the figure comes in, and boy is this the thing pretty to look at. Not only does it have a giant photo of Mecha Kiryu, it has all the warning labels and some Japanese writing. On the top it says Mechagodzilla on the top, Bandai, and your warning labels, and you know, all that other stuff. And it also lets you know that this is an exclusive to the Bandai collector shop, which is also cool. Flip it to the other side, it says Mechagodzilla, but in the back there's a whole gallery of awesome photos. Oh, almost forgot, on the bottom, legal jargon. So here we have all the things that Mecha Kiryu comes with, and he comes with a fairly decent amount. With the lack of things that we've been getting from the SH MonsterArts brand with accessories, I feel like this is a great giant step up. So first he comes with an alternative head. So I'll bring it forward. Fix to focus, and you can see that this alternative head looks awesome with the mangled eye, very familiar to the classic, you know, the classic movie where Godzilla fought, the classic 90s movie where Godzilla fought Rodan and Rodan picked his eye out, but in this one it was Martha, I believe. But yeah, just looks really cool. So here we have his drill hand, and this thing is pretty sharp. This is actually made out of die-cast metal. A little bit of it, I think it's like from here up, is die-cast metal because it's really cold to the touch. And this thing is very pointy. Very pointy. I scratched myself by mistake. And then I'm just going to show one of them. But here is his arm guard, or whatever you want to call this, that he uses to fight Godzilla with. Which is pretty cool. I think this looks absolutely amazing. And then the last piece that he comes with is his backpack. Very large backpack that disassembles into rockets. Kind of what you have to do is you kind of hold it from the base, so from here and from here, and you push forward, and then you hear it kind of give way. When it gives way, it just pops right off, and you can see this little peg right there, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. And both of them come off as well. Both do come off. So that's really cool, and you can snap them back on with ease. And there you go. To put it on, you have to pull this out. So focus in. This spike, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Oop, the tail just came off. This spike right here comes out, and then you have to put this in there, into that little hole. You see that hole right there? You gotta just plug this bad boy in there. It's a pain. It is a pain. I've tried doing it. It's a pain. I'm not going to do it right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the accessories on, so all of these will go on. And then I'll just show you what it looks like in the final product. Oh my god. So after 15 to 20 minutes of me just breaking sweat fighting this figure, I finally got everything on. And it looks great. It looks really great when everything's on. It's just, oh my god, the hassles that come along with putting these tiny tubes, and you see how small they are, into the neck piece. Because there's a small neck piece that requires these tubes to go in it so the head could pop on. And oh my god, what a pain in the ass that is. And then getting this jet open for me, it locks in for some reason, and it's very hard to get out. I had to use an X-Acto knife to get it out. Why? Because it was thin enough to go in and then push in and then pop out. It didn't scratch anything, which is great. And then also getting this to snap on, this piece, It's also another pain in the ass. This is just a heads up to anybody who's gonna buy it. This thing is awesome. It looks great. Changing the hands is the easiest part. But there's something that has to be said about this right here. These little tubes. You have to pull out this little thing right here. Let me still focus in. See if I can focus in on it. Nope. It is so small that I can't even focus on it. Here you go. My finger's in focus, and you can see how small this is. This little peg right here. I still can't focus on it. But yeah, this little peg right here, this tiny little thing, goes in that slot right there. So all the accessories are really cool, and they do peg in very well, and you can close this very easily. It looks really great. And like I said, these are detachable as well. So if you want them firing out, you can do that as well. It looks great. All of it just looks really, really great. Also, another cool thing to mention before I forget, you can bring these down. So if he's going to fly away, you just have to adjust the boosters. I was about to say the flyers. The boosters, and there you go. He's in jet mode, apparently. I think this is really cool, and I think it looks really great. So before I forget, I wanted to show you guys a quick comparison between the two heads, because I know somebody's going to ask what's the difference. And you could see, there you go. I have it on a little neck stand, Act 4, 3, whatever, stand, Act 3. So yeah, you can see the difference. This one is clean, shiny, and brand new. And this one has the scarred eye, and the scarring continues down the face, down to here. So if you have the original Mecha Kiryu from the SH MonsterArts line, you know what the articulation is like. This has a lot of articulation. And let's just start it off. The mouth does open and close, so yay. He can look down very far. So from a side view, you can see that he can look at the little people as he steps on them, and as he loses his mind as well. He can get that pivot side to side, which is awesome. For some reason, not so much this way, but a lot more this way. I don't know why is that. Oh, okay, I was doing something wrong. He can pivot that way. It just gets stuck. You have to be careful with these kind of side panels. He does have articulation in the arms, so they go up about this far, and they are also double jointed. But they don't, you get about 90 degrees out of it. So it looks like about like that. With wrist articulation, swivels all the way around, and it is also on a ball joint. So it rotates freely there. Then you have, and that also applies to the other arm. Goes up about this far, double jointed, wrist. And this one gets a little bit more range of motion because it's larger, with a larger ball peg. So that's pretty cool. Bonus, he has an articulated chest where it opens up like so, which I showed earlier, which looks really cool. To do his, whatever the move was, I can't remember off the top of my head. And then it was like some cannon, absolute zero cannon. There you go, it's the absolute zero cannon. Boom, remembered. Then he has a pretty cool ab crunch. Goes about that far in, not too much, not a lot, but it does rotate all the way, like a good 30 degrees on either side. I don't know, but it does have a good bend in it. Does bend back a good amount, and you could finagle this as well, so you can get more space and still move it around freely, which is cool. Nothing at the lower waist though, so this acts as a waist swivel and ab crunch at the same time, so it does its function. Then you, at the legs, it can move about this high up. Right here there's a wire that connects it from here to here. I don't know if this was in the movie so much, but you can see it, that it moves, and you can retract it back into the body. And then, like I said before, he is articulated at the panels, and his thighs. I'm not going to do the other one. There you go. This rotates inward and outward. Close that. He has a really great double jointed knee. Something that I haven't seen done really well on a Godzilla figure. Usually their knees don't bend very well because Godzilla can't really bend his knees too much. The guys in suits can't really bend their knees too much, so this is pretty great knee bend, I might say. And then he can pivot. He has an ankle pivot. It can move in any which direction, as most people know. And also this little panel right here moves as well. So a lot of great range of articulation on this guy. So for a quick size comparison, here is Mechagodzilla next to his movie co-star, and I put it in quotations because this is the concept for the movie, the Millennium Godzilla. And you can see that Mechagodzilla is taller, which is good because Mechagodzilla was taller in the movie, and they're supposed to, both of these are supposed to stand about 50 meters, so this looks great. So here is Mecha Kiryu compared to two 2014 figures, the NECA and the 2014, and you can see that this is completely out of scale. This doesn't matter because he is supposed to be a lot larger than him. He's supposed to be about 105 meters while he's supposed to be 50. That's not even correct. Because he is supposed to be based off the original Godzilla. Just a little tidbit of information. He is from the bones of the original Godzilla, which was 50 meters or 55 meters. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mechagodzilla compared to Revoltech Gamera and SH MonsterArts Fire Rodan. And these are, I don't even know what kind of scale these would be in with each other. Gamera should be about here to him, I'm assuming. And then Fire Rodan was tiny, so that looks right. So for another size comparison, here we have the 90s Heisei Godzilla and the 90s Mothra compared to this Millennium Mechagodzilla. And this looks cool. Mechagodzilla still being taller because he is a taller figure. So last but certainly not least, here we have Mechagodzilla compared to the 2004 Gigan. So to wrap up this review, this figure is absolutely amazing. You can get him in a lot of great poses. He looks very great next to any Godzilla you put him next to. And on top of that, he's a lot cheaper than the original release, which will run you about $160 to $180. This one is valued right now at retail for $130 after taxes, which is still a lot cheaper. That's more money in your pocket. And this one is visually cooler, having the die-cast metal, having a great paint wash over it to make him look dirtier, just makes him look amazing. I think this is a must-have for any Godzilla collector. Mechagodzilla is one of the quintessential villains for Godzilla, and I think you guys need to have this. So with that being said, I'll check you guys out later. Make sure to click all the links in below to all my social media where you guys can follow me there, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.